What is going on, YouTube? NEWBtoPRO here, bringing you another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 live gameplay commentary. Today's video is actually going to be something separate from my kind of break my fundamentals playlist. This video is actually kind of inspired by one of you guys by the name of, I think it's young Malik. I want to say it's Malik. But I'll go ahead and put that comment up here on screen for you guys to check out. But yeah, he had asked me about dark matter and fast ways to get it. And, you know, being that I got it pretty fast, I got it within like the first 2 weeks of release. And I got it also while like heavily competing. Like I was practicing comp and everything for like, you know, a lot of hours a day. So I'm just gonna use this video. It might be pretty short, at least I want it to be. I'm just gonna show you guys basically everything that I did to get it so quickly, and hopefully you guys can, you know, maybe take something away from it and apply it yourselves. I was in a pub a few days ago actually, which is kind of ironic, and a little kid actually had said something about not knowing what dark matter was. And so, being that there are people that don't know what dark matter is the camo that I'm currently running right now. And as you progress through different kill challenges with the camo, it changes. So it's a reactive camo. One of the first ones implemented into the game, and it's based off of the camo for Black Ops 3, which is this one that you see here. So, with all that being said, I think that about covers dark matter. You know, reactive camo changes throughout the game. I think at 30 kills it turns purple like this, and it doesn't. You don't have to get 30 kills without dying. Now you used to have to, but they changed it, and now as long as you just get 30 kills within the map, you'll get this reactive reactive camo. Get this here purple dark mid. Yeah, I guess that about covers it. You know, again, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask me within the comments down below. I typically respond within the first 24 hours of you guys posting them. So, you know, I usually try to get a pretty speedy response to you guys. And yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video and show you guys some pretty good tips on how to get dark matter really fast. Okay, so my first tip to start out in this video, gonna be playing to hardcore game modes, and that's really simply for the sake of getting the headshots on the guns. The headshots challenges take up a large portion of the challenges within the camo sets. Even I think the SG-12 headshot challenges need to be done, and it's a shotgun. So yeah, this is gonna be your friend right here. You of course can go to core and do your headshot challenges. You know, it's perfectly fine. Like I got a few of my headshot challenges done in core just because I liked the gun and I was really proficient with the gun. But for the most part, I was in hardcore, and yeah, it's a lot easier, but it's for the sake of just efficiency. You know, if you're wanting to get dark matter really fast, you want to be in hardcore doing headshot challenges because it's just a one tap. I think 1 or 2 tap actually. I can't remember, but it's like 1 or 2 shots to the head, and they're dead. And it's really fast, really easy, really clean, and it's pretty fantastic. A little I guess class tip: any gun that has laser sight, strap laser sight on when you're playing in hardcore, or even if you're playing in core. But if you know you're working on headshots and stuff, slap laser sight on and just try to center near the head at all times. Like keep your crosshairs just a little bit up. I'm pretty sure that the aim assist in this game makes you target to the chest a lot, but if you just center towards the head and use that laser sight, it's almost a guaranteed headshot, especially in hardcore. So you know, if a gun has laser sight on, go ahead and use it. Hardcore, attachments are kind of thrown out the window. They don't really matter a whole lot because you can just hip fire, two-shot people. It doesn't really matter. So, you know, you're not going to have to worry about, like, too much ammo capacity or strafing or, you know, things like that, or even suppressor because there's no mini-map. So, you know, just slap on a suppressor, or not a suppressor, but just slap on a laser sight if the gun has it, strap it on, and it'll make those headshots even that much more easy to get. And I think when it comes, what is it? There's Longshots. So yeah, that's pretty much all the tips I have for getting the headshots. You know, laser sight, hardcore, high cal, definitely high cal. If you're playing core, high cal's not so important in hardcore, but if you're playing core and you're just really determined to do it in core, slap high cal on, high cal 2 if you need it, laser sight. Those are the go-tos when it comes to just strictly getting headshots. Going into the game mode, you're not gonna have a crazy KD, you know, because if you're trying to get dark matter super quick, you're going into each map with the mindset that you're doing a challenge. And for the large portion of that, your challenges are getting 100 headshots. Malik actually said something about getting the bloodthirsties. He was struggling with the bloodthirsties. And that's totally understandable with this game, just because of how people play it. He had mentioned that people were camping a lot, and, you know, I think he said something about, you know, people were doing like the 9 bangs and things like that. So once you get out of the headshots, you know, the best thing to do for just getting those, what are they called, the technical camos, like, you know, getting the 5 bloodthirsties, like long shots and things like that. You know, it's like they're very specific challenges, and they're for the most part fairly simple. To avoid getting stunned and stuff in pubs, definitely run tac mask. I would typically recommend running scavenger, but you can do without scavenger just by running crash. So you can run crash, keep your ammo always up, run tac mask instead, and then you can run ghost, which is really good. Now, if you feel like maybe you're getting like sound horde a lot, like people are using gaming headsets and just hearing you run around, then you can switch to dead silence. You know, that's always good. And if you really wanted to, you can make some room. Like, you know, if I don't have that, you can throw a tac mask on. Maybe we don't need dexterity. Maybe we want ghost and dead silence. Totally doable, and that's totally fine. And then you could even go as far as replacing stim shot with acoustic sensors, so that way you know if people are around you, and to be more cautious. So that should help, you know, people throwing 9 bangs and concussions, and or tac mask should help with the concussions and stuns. Acoustic sensor, ghost, and dead silence should help with people camping in corners, probably sound horn, you know, things like that. That should help with those camos. Again, like, you know, long shots are pretty specific. And I'll go in here now and I'll show you guys some lanes of sights on some specific maps that you can utilize to really ensure those long shots, and make sure you're just getting that camo really, really simply. Okay, so the first map I want to kind of showcase is firing range. This map's really good because it tends to be in the rotations in pubs a lot, like whether it's the nighttime firing range or just normal firing range. People seem to really love this map, and so you'll run into it quite a lot. So as you saw, like, you just kind of want to run in here, hop up on this desk, and this works with, you know, ARs, LMGs, like whatever, you know, this is going to count as a long shot. So you'll get up on this desk, and as you can see, you can literally just watch the cross from their spawn to trailer. Now, obviously, if they go into that back red building, you're not going to see them, but for the most part, the typical pub player, like the casual players is what I'm referencing, they're just going to run straight down the middle of the map. They're going to peek this, like, on the little sandbag there, or maybe, like, they come out of red and they get up on this barrel right there. Whatever they do, they're going to end up somewhere here. And even if they don't, at some point throughout the map, they're going to end up there. I'm not condoning, you know, camping. You know, I don't want to say just, you know, sit here the whole game. But, you know, if you're just trying to get, like, I think it's like 10 long shots, you know, you get your 10, and then you just play the game, try to get your bloodthirsties even. So, you know, maybe you get a few, go work on a bloodthirsty, get a few, you know, just so you're not camping and, like, you know, feeling really stale and boring. But this is, like, a really, really good spot, because, like I said, it shows up in rotations a lot, and it's, like, it's really, really simple to use. And this works vice versa. If you were to, you know, spawn on this side, and, you know, peek this, yeah, you check that, yeah, you check that, but, you know, you can also just as simply get that right there, or even I think there's a spot like you come off spawn and then you hop up on the green car and then you can even do this. And that's for sure a long shot because you're literally back on the red building, like shooting across the map. Like that's literally as far that way as you can go, and you're shooting that person. So it works both ways. So if you say you're playing like hardcore domination or something, and you know first half you spawn on that side, you utilize it over there. Somebody's probably going to see the kill, or not the kill cam, but like know that you're shooting them from there. And then on this side of the map, they're going to be there. So it's kind of a win-win. You know, just make sure you win on the gunfight, and you should be good to go. Alright, so the next map that I'm going to show you guys that's really, really good for long shots is frequency. And there's really like one spot of the map, and again, this kind of works on both sides of the maps, obviously. It's literally just right here. Right here. You know, just get back as far as you can. You know, you got some coverage to peek around. You know, you can kind of shoulder this and then nail that person right there on headies. You know, whatever. And, typically, especially on domination, because B flag is like right there, you know, this side of the map's going to see a lot of traffic. So, you know, it's a really, really good map. Again, it doesn't come up in, I mean, at least in my rotations of pubs, as much as firing range. But, you know, it's one of those maps, if you do land on it, you know, you can pull out a gun and work on those long shot challenges and, you know, just start getting them off and clear them out. The next map on the list that we're going to talk about is Arsenal, and this one again actually comes up a lot in my pub playlist. Like I find myself playing Arsenal quite a bit throughout my typical day grind in pubs. But right here, you know, you want to just get as far back as possible you can up against that wall, and then not necessarily there on that head glitch, but like that one. When people challenge this one right here, that's a long shot. I think that's the only spot really that counts as a long shot on this map. It's the only spot that I used. I mean, you know, you can get like right here, challenge the same thing. Try to keep challenging that window. This area typically is pretty busy when it comes to traffic in games. If you can try to play control, because I know, like, you know, this whole area here is actually a control site. It's a control hill, and so you can literally just sit here and people are going to be challenging that window all the time, trying to get picks and openings for the team. And so it'd be really easy for you to do it in that game mode. You know, if not TDM, because people kind of, you know, do their own thing, and it's, you know, you're bound to get somebody that runs up into this window or up through here, you know, eventually. So yeah, Arsenal, another good map to get that long shot. Right there in this little area here. All right, so the next map, get your long shots in, is going to be Contraband. I think that's right. Yeah, it's Contraband. This one's pretty straightforward. You know, you can just get in this window. This isn't going to count as a long shot, not the window-to-window gunfight, but you know, this right here, and then this right here. Actually, that one's not going to count. Sorry. This one right here is going to be a long shot. So, you know, if you wanted to, like, you know, you can get a nice little cheeky angle. Pretty good. And I'll show you from the other side right here. All right. You know, you can challenge that window pretty easily. And if you have, you know, FMJ on, you can wall bang them when they get over here. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, that'll still count as a wall, or not a wall bang, but a long shot. And that basically does it for Contraband. So the next map that we're going to go over for long shots is Gridlock. Gridlock is it's actually a really, really good map for long shots, because it's like, you know, you have this lane right here. You know, people pushing into that mid area, you just you know, light them up. It's a really, really good spot for it. I'm pretty sure it's like, even if it's like you're right here, you gotta be like on the back of the truck, and then if you kill them, top caution right there, that's a long shot. Yeah, so the next spot is right here, and you want to back up against the wall so you're as far away from it as possible. And then, you know, anybody head glitching right here, you know, that's a long shot. And I'm pretty sure anybody inside that truck is also going to count as a long shot. Now, if they're pushed up to there on that head glitch, not going to count for one, but, you know, there it will. You know, if you are challenging from that box side, you know, it's going to count as a long shot if they're backed up against the wall. So what you can do is you can challenge from, like, you know, a little farther back yourself, because, you know, it's not like they're going to help you get the long shot. So, you know, they're probably going to be like right up on the windowsill. So if you back up as far as you can, you know, you can get that long shot. Not going to have as much of coverage, but, you know, it's definitely a good way to challenge from that side. And again, that line of sight in mid up here on caution, it does, you know, it does work both ways. You know, if somebody pops up on that blue truck down there, you know, you can pop them. This, and see, I don't think this counts as a long shot. Even if you backed up against this, I'm pretty sure that didn't count. But, you know, and you can do vice versa here and, like, get them off spawn. And, you know, that's basically your lines of sight and your long shots for gridlock. Okay, so the next map that we're going to go over is Icebreaker. Oh my god, I almost forgot the name. You know, right here, doing this lane is a good way to get long shots, you know, because they can chow on that head glitch. They can chow from over here. And they can even be in that window right there. So, you know, that's a really good way to get long shots on this map. And right here will count as a long shot, you know, if they challenge out of their spawn on this heady right here. And even, you know, this one right here, you can chow it. This counts as a long shot right there. Obviously vice versa from the gas tanks, you know. Actually, on this map, what I personally did a lot was I would get in this building and lock it down, and I would just be like right here. It was so hard for them to kill me, and I would just beam them, and I did that a lot to get long shots on this map. So yeah, that's all the lines of sight that I used to get long shots. I mean, I can only make this video kind of based on like what I did and my experiences. You know, I'm not one of those the COD YouTubers that goes through like every single map and breaks it down, like every line of sight and every way to long shot. I'm just showing you guys the ways that I got them, or the way that I got the dark matter camo like super fast. And that's obviously just going to be based off of the maps that I have played most frequently. All right. So next map we're going to be going over is Jungle. Jungle is another map that I played a lot of, and obviously it's a really good spot for long shots. It's really good. I used this map a lot for long shots, and like I was kind of banking on this map popping up for me to do them. But so, you know, if you back up like right here on this this top part, and then, you know, you can see right there, that's back there, you know, past that is like their spawn point, and a lot of people will try to rotate to the this right side of the map here through this spot. And, you know, they'll come through here and then they'll run through that little path. But if you can back up and just get them, you know, while they're running, or get people that are trying to, like, kind of creep out of here, great spot for long shots. I use this spot religiously throughout my my camo grind. Another good spot is here. Really not? Okay. But if you back up, people trying to climb up into that little hut, I found I was getting long shots off of that, and that helped me a lot. And obviously, vice versa. Now for this one, when I would spawn on this side of the map, I would kind of, as you can see, like right there, you can see like kind of that corner, a little bit of that's where they're going to start peeking out of, and right here will count as a long shot. And you know, because you're sitting here pre-aimed, they're going to creep up, and you're just going to pop, and you're gonna get the kill, because a lot of the time you're just gonna be pinging them right in the head. And you know, again, a really good spot for long shots. I really love this map. So if you're on Jungle, try to knock some of them out. It's a really good map. Really easy lines of sight to get those long shots. The next map we're going to be talking about is Militia. Militia is a map that I ran into quite a lot back when I was doing the camo grind, and you know, it's another one of those just like really good maps. You know, you love to see this one in the rotation on the next one, because you know, you can get up here, and it's like, you know, back there counts as a long shot. You can get them through that window. You can get them on that the old truck heady there, or even like really, really far out right here. You can shout from this side and get them, you know, over here. But this down here was a pretty good spot for long shots. But it was kind of like, you know, because you didn't have a lot of room to kill them, and so like I had to be playing some pretty noobish guys to be successful in that spot. But you know, it can happen, and you can get them. One of the best spots is going to be this right here, because like all the way back there is a spawn point. Okay, so you know you're shoulder peeking, and then you know you pop out. There's gonna be like 2 or 3 of them. You just blast them. They're all gonna be long shots, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you know you have a pretty good ways to extend yourself, and you can, you know, obviously wall bang through that, and that's like just like a really, really good spot to get the long shots in. All right. So the next spot I want to talk about is back here in the spawn. Often if you join a game late, you know, you're gonna get spawn trapped and stuff. Or even if you're just kind of like, you know, playing for those long shots. If you chill back here and see people trying to like head glitch in that barn or that little bridge, this actually counts as a long shot as well. And then obviously vice versa of the first line of sight that I showed you is right here. It's easier to get these long shots on this angle on this side of the map, simply because, you know, you can kind of duck behind this car. You have this hill, and you can kind of control the distance and stuff. But you know, up there, you know, they have like people have like these 2 cars and like these 3 cars kind of get in the way of the line of sight and stuff. But you know, it's very dependent. You know, if you guys are up there on that side of the map, and you know you can, you know, you're paying attention and you know watching people spawn in and run up here, you know, either way, either side is really, really good. All right, next, people love to camp in that window. I literally spent a whole map having an entire team huddle up in that little cabin up there. So if you stand up against this wall here and shoot the people up there in the top window, that'll count as a long shot as well. And obviously that's going to work vice versa. So if you're in the window and you see somebody here up against this wall, that'll count as a long shot. But you know, this one, it's a little bit more controlled. You can guarantee you're up against the wall. All right, so if you are up in this window, it is actually going to count if you get people underneath this bridge. Like that'll count as a long shot. That'll count as a long shot. And I've gotten those a few times, just being like, you know, kind of cheeky about it. But you know, I think definitely the best lines of sight are going to be, you know, from there outlooking that spawn, and then up here outlooking this spawn. Those are going to be your best bets when it comes to getting long shots here on Militia. Okay, so the next map we're going to go over is going to be Morocco. Yeah, Morocco. Again, on this map, this is the only line of sight that I use for long shots. And it's going to be, you know, from this top stairs area back into that back spawn. And, you know, because that's such a massive spawn point here on this map, like, they could basically end up feeding you long shots. You know, obviously if you put too much pressure on this, they are going to spawn, you know, back there by that arch, you know, so just be careful of that. You know, so if, you know, if you're a little cheeky, get up, peek one, get one, and then, you know, kind of watch this, make sure they're not spawning, and then you pop up, get another one. And of course, that line of sight also works vice versa. So if, you know, you're back here in this back spawn and somebody's up top, it's a good opportunity for you to cop some of those long shots in. And yeah, that's really the only line of sight that I use on this map. It was always like the least complicated, and it was always the most trafficked. I think that's a word. But yeah, that's like really like the only, this is like the only line of sight that you would probably want to be using on Morocco. All right, so the next map we're going to talk about is Seaside. And Seaside was one of those ones that was, you know, pretty good to run across. It was pretty frequent in the rotation. And basically the only line of sight that I used to get long shots on this map was you sit behind this little pool table here, and people that would come up in the top church, you would just plaster them, and you would get a long shot. There's really, you know, not much to it other than that. Being in church window is a little bit more difficult, simply because, you know, you can't control people being, you know, behind that pool table and whatnot, you know. So I would try to stay in that top yellow bar area if you're going to play this map and run long shots on it. You know, that was just something that I did. I usually tried to keep control of this back spawn here behind us, and I would just chill on top yellow behind the bar, working the head glitch, keeping them frosted up top church. You know what I'm saying? And that's really it for this map. That was you know, so if you do run across it, try to use this one if you can. Right. So that's going to pretty much conclude this part of the video for the long shots. If I left a map out or anything like that, it's probably best you avoid that map, because, you know, getting long shots on them are going to be pretty hard to get. And if they're not hard to get, they're going to be really obnoxious to get. And if they're not obnoxious to get, then they're basically just going to be really slow to get. Meaning that there's not really a lot of traffic in the long lines of sights for those maps that I left out. So yeah, just try to avoid any maps that I left out of it, and try to focus on running the maps that I left in and using the line of sights that I showed you guys. So when it comes to completing the technical challenges for the dark matter camo, all of the guns are going to have the same challenges. It's going to be 50 kills with all attachments, 50 kills with no attachments, double kills, bloodthirsties, and long shots. I can't remember like the number for each of those, but that's basically what you're going to be doing for every gun, and it's not so bad. I know some of, like, you know, the performance camos will turn into one shot, one kills instead of just headshots, so that'll be some snipers and some shotguns. And you know, so the performance ones will kind of change depending on the gun. Technicals will stay the same throughout. So you do have the consistency with the technical camos. The only time the technical camos change is with the launcher and the knife. So the launcher is going to be, you know, destroying AI controlled streaks, and then there's like destroying the barbed wire and stuff. And you know, those are very specific, but the launcher is really simple. Once you get past destroying all of the streaks, you know, which is like the performance one, you get in the technical, and it's pretty easy. You know, you're just destroying, you know, you're just shooting rockets and stuff. The best way to do those is to be in domination. So you have, you know, the enemy team has more time to accumulate streaks, and you basically just kind of feed streaks to the team, the enemy team. Not, you know, throwing your life away, but, you know, just kind of playing really passive, letting your teammates just get completely worked on, letting that person get streaks, and, you know, hopefully they have a mantis, and hopefully they have some of the other streaks that, you know, comes with those challenges. The knife's technical camos, let me see, are going to be the backstabs, survivors, bloodthirsties, revenge, and backfires. So you basically kill, you know, the backfire is going to be you kill somebody with a knife, pick up their gun, and then kill that person with it. You know, they're all, the knife was pretty simple. I had an easier time doing the knife than I did the Hellion Salvo, which is the launcher. You know, so, you know, just keep that in mind. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, I gotta run around with a knife and get bloodthirsties. It's not so bad, you just gotta kind of play it right. And my last tip for you guys would to be set up multiple classes so that you're ready for whatever map you're playing on, because not all maps are super large and not all maps are super small. You know, so you want to be really versatile in your class setups and be really efficient in them. Make sure you're getting the most out of every map you play for the challenge. So, you know, if you're playing something like Icebreaker and you got all these headshots to do with the ICR, make sure you have, like, you know, maybe, what is it, what scope is that? Whoops. You know, make sure maybe you're running a recon side or a dual zoom side or something like that. That gets you that little bit more zoom on those longer lines of sight that you can keep, you know, popping them in the head. Make sure, you know, maybe you're running a, you know, laser sight for those up close engagements, like that. If you're running on slums, you know, make sure you have a really open sight and you can move around really fast and things like that. And you're playing to the advantages that the maps are giving you. You don't want to just sit there and say, oh, I need all these challenges in on the ICR, so I'm going to use nothing but the ICR. That's what's going to make it take really long. You know, you want to be like, oh, I'm playing Icebreaker, so on that map I can run the ICR and I'll switch my sight out for this so I can make sure I'm getting as many headshots as I can on that map. And then, you know, maybe next map you're running firing range. You're like, oh, I need these headshots on the SOG, so I'm going to hurry up and switch over to that class that I set up and I'm gonna make sure I'm running around and getting my headshots with the SOG on firing range. And we'll just put the ICR on the back burner. But you want to be kind of, you know, going through, you know, class types. You know, make sure you have a good AR class, make sure you have a good subclass, you know, and things like that. So, you know, when it comes to bigger maps, you can pull out the AR or an LMG or something. When it comes to smaller maps, you can pull out the submachine gun or a shotgun or whatever. And, you know, snipers, you know, everything like that. Make sure you're utilizing the specific maps with specific gun classes, okay? And that's going to really expedite your guys' kind of camo grind. And, you know, that's coming from somebody that did it in 2 weeks. And that's literally what I did. So I have been recording for about an hour and 13 minutes now for this video. I am going to super edit it and trim it down. Make sure it's super lean and as to the point as, or as much to the point as it possibly can be for you guys. If this was helpful and you did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a thumbs up. And, you know, if you still have any more questions at all, make sure you drop a comment down below. Feel free to ask. Like I said, I do comment back within the first 24 hours, probably within the first hour of you guys dropping a comment. And, you know, feel free to engage. You know, I'm definitely open for questions. If I left anything out, feel free to ask about it in the comments below or let me know in the comments below. And, yeah, if you're new around here and enjoy this type of content or content similar to this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And as always, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.